add and subtract fractions with common denominators. We're going to first start by using models in order to show what it looks like to add and subtract fractions that have the same denominator. So, for example, let's pretend that for a project you needed 1/8 yard of ribbon and you also needed 3/8 yard of yarn. And if you wanted to know the length of all of that together, you could model it with fraction towers. So you could take the 1/8 yard of ribbon and then add that together to the 3/8 yard of yarn, and then all you'd have to do is count and see how many, what part of a yard you have all together. So it would So the steps that you can follow based on those few examples that we just had, when you add fractions with common denominators, you want to do three things. First, you want to make sure that you keep the same denominator. Whatever your denominator already was, keep it the same. Then you're going to add the numerators. And finally, your last step is to simplify the fraction. Make sure that it's in simplest form. So let's do a couple examples. I have 5/10 plus. Now, I want to warn you about a mistake that I see lots of just kidding, lots of third graders make, and sometimes some fourth graders make it. So I want to show you so that you can help your friends watch out to make sure that they don't make the same mistake. So here's the right way to do it, first of all. 1/4 plus 2/4 equals 3/4. And I'm going to show it with fraction towers here. 1/4 put together with 2/4. The length of this piece is 3/4. Well, here's what some third graders do the wrong way. They do 1/4 plus 2/4. They add the numerators and they add the denominators. But let's prove why this isn't a good answer. If you think that the answer to this is 3/8, here's the size of 3/8. I can show that here with my fraction tower pieces. Here's the size of a block that's 3/8. But if you put together a 1/4 piece with a 2/4 piece, you get something this size. And when you compare those, you can see that 3/8 is way smaller than 3/4. See the difference here? So 3/8 is less than 3/4. If you see somebody do this, we have a code word. I want you to yell, "Dad!" because that's going to stand for don't add denominators. So if you see somebody do that, or you accidentally do it yourself, or if I do it, I want you to yell, "Dad!" to remind us, don't add denominators. So let's talk about subtracting fractions that have the same denominators. Let's use models first, just like we did for addition. You can think about it like taking away pieces. Subtraction is taking away something. So if you start with 11/12 of a pizza and you eat 7/12 of the pizza, first of all, you're going to be sick, but then you might want to think about how much is left. So I've drawn my pizza here and colored in the amount that I'm starting with, which is 11 out of the 12 pieces. And then I'm going to, whoops, I found a mistake. My problem down here is 4. Just kidding, you didn't eat that much. You only ate 4/12, okay? So if you are going to eat 4 out of 12 of those pizzas, you're going to subtract, or we can just erase one piece. And finally, I don't think you need the reminder, but just in case, think about Dad, except for you want to make it don't subtract denominators. Let's look at why that doesn't make any sense if I subtracted denominators. 4/5 minus 1/5, if I subtracted the numerators, but then also subtracted the denominators, I'd get 3/0, which isn't even a number. So don't add denominators, don't subtract denominators either.